Your textbook authors have chosen 4 children to use in all the way throughout the text as children whose case studies you can follow to apply what you've been reading about and practice the strategies. I have a slide here showing you the names of the 4 kids, Nan, Tina, Samisha, and Drew, along the top, and along the left side are different pieces of information about the kids. One of your activities for this lesson is to go to the assignment page, and you will find this, or assignment tab, you will find this list there for you to fill out. So you just need to put very short pieces of information, not full sentences at all, about each one of these kids in each one of these categories. Now, maybe there will be a category that there is no information listed or written about that particular child in this chapter. If so, you have to leave that blank. I believe, as I recall, there's information at the beginning of this chapter and maybe some more throughout and at the end. So don't give up if you don't find it right away at the beginning of the chapter. So that is something you'll be submitting this week as well. And you will want to continue to refer to this list because it will be helpful for you as you're reading the other chapters to remind yourself information about this particular child. Okay, Chapter 2, Evidence-Based Practices and the Building Blocks Framework. Just a little bit of a review of what you've read. An outcome for this course is referred to as a result of supports and services, this outcome will be met. And we talk about valued or meaningful outcomes. For this age group, we're looking at outcomes that improve that child's functioning in everyday life. So, yes, academic skills are important, but counting is not as important on a daily basis, a functional basis, as is learning how to use the bathroom or learning how to share a toy or ask for a toy that you want. So these are some of the more function-based skills that we are hoping to help our young children improve upon. And then the last part of this slide, wanted to let you know that we in the early childhood special ed and early intervention world are required by federal law, IDA 2004, to document progress towards 3 global outcomes for every child in every state who has an IEP or an early intervention IFSP plan. And those 3 are listed right below there. So we do assess and document and teach all children a minimum of these 3 outcomes. Positive social emotional skills are very important to look at, and then a child's ability to use knowledge and skills in the areas of language and communication and early literacy development. And the third one is using appropriate behavior to get their needs met, their individual needs met. So those are important things for you to keep in mind across the board when we're thinking about curriculum and what should we teach and what should we support for our young kids with delays and disabilities. We're going to include these 3 goals and outcomes as we move forward. Okay. And I think this is our last piece of information. Your authors in the Building Blocks book have designed a framework where they stack these 4 blocks. And please look at this, pay attention to this in your chapter, because the large block, the one at the bottom, is focused on the fact that every young child needs and deserves to be in a high-quality early childhood program, a high-quality environment, a high-quality setting. Regardless of what program it is they are in, whether it's Head Start, Early Childhood Special Ed, an early intervention program, child care, community preschool, others that I may be not thinking about right now, and public school programs, they need to be high quality. And so that's why that base, that building block on the bottom is the biggest. That's all children, regardless of their individual needs. The second level our authors describe in this text is that some children are going to need some curriculum modifications. in order to be successful in learning and growing. So be sure you understand what curriculum modifications is and the difference between that level and the third level up from the bottom, which is embedded learning opportunities. What are those? What do those look like? Those are very purposeful. They're very specific. They're embedded into what? I want you to think about that. What are we embedding these learning opportunities into? And then the fourth block, which is at the top of our stack and is the smallest. Remember, as we move up in this stack, the blocks are getting shorter. That level is child-focused instructional strategies. And what we're talking about here is specific strategies for individual children. And that's why it says child-focused, very individual focused here. And the blocks get smaller because less children have these needs in these areas. And the delivery of your services as we move up this stack becomes more and more specific and individualized. And when you think about it, what is special about special education is individualization. Okay. So these are some activities I just suggest that you think about doing to help you apply and learn the Building Blocks framework. We will be asking and talking about the framework later as we move forward in the course, but you might go ahead and draw your own stack of blocks and label them. And then in the book, in this chapter, the authors have given you the evidence base for each level, each block. Pay attention to that. And think about the 4 children that you just spent a fair amount of time describing in and submitting in the assignment tab. Those 4 kids in our text. Think about them and examples using them. That would be a good way to practice this information too. And we've come to an end of lesson 3. Have a good day.